This waterfall just fits perfectly in this small space. Good morning, everybody. It's Jack from Atlantis Water Gardens. Today we're in Randolph, New Jersey, and we've got an intimate little spot where we're going to be tucking in a beautiful pondless waterfall. We've got a nice area right outside the back door. We've got a hot tub here, a small patio, swinging bench, and this garden space is just begging for a water feature to fill this whole area with sound. There is an existing railroad tie wall, which is terrific because we can build up against that for our berm. We're going to be starting our waterfall back in here. We want to get some twisting and turning coming down with our reservoir right here at the end, so it disappears right as you're sitting at the swing. You get a really great shot of all that water cascading down. The most important thing is the vantage points. We've got the house here, this patio, sitting in the hot tub. Who wouldn't want to have a nice waterfall right next to them? And we've got the swing, the obvious place that you want to sit to take it all in. Now, the sound we create with this waterfall is going to be extremely important. One of the homeowners actually lost her eyesight to glaucoma, so she's completely blind. The only thing she's going to be able to enjoy from this is the sound. So we're fortunate we're surrounded by this fence. It's going to trap all that auditory right in this whole space. It's going to be really peaceful when you open that back door, sitting out here. Let's get this thing started. Right now I've got Anthony bringing soil in. We've got some good fill dirt that's going to compact real well. We're going to bring it in here and we're going to build up this berm, get that compacted. Then we can dig our reservoir right here. That's going to be feeding our waterfall. We're going to be installing 3 small aqua blocks with a pump vault. That'll be plenty of water storage to feed this waterfall. Once we excavate for the aqua blocks and the pump vault, then we're going to put our fabric in, our liner, and install those aqua blocks and pump vault and start building this waterfall. Now we have our aqua blocks and our pump vault in place inside the liner. We're going to go ahead and pull back the rest of the liner that came out from inside here. We're using one piece of liner. It's a 10 by 20. We're going to carve the shelves and the stream sections that are going to comprise the waterfall, fold it all back over, and start laying some rocks. The rock work is really starting to come together. Boulevard's working on doing the end of the waterfall where it's going to meet the reservoir. We're going to keep that pretty low in there so it just kind of disappears coming right here. So this way when you're sitting at the bench, the waterfall is disappearing right in front of you. We're going to wind the stream around, and here is where we're going to have a really nice multiple cascade waterfall. I want the water coming through this pooling area. It's going to come off of this rock. We'll put something else behind there just to equalize the height, and it's going to be bouncing off of that and this one, so you have a lot of white water action happening right there before it pulls up and makes the turn to go back down. Then we're going up to the top where our spillway is. Again, we'll have something that pulls up before it goes off that second waterfall. I do read your comments, and one of the things I see you guys ask me a lot is, where do we get our moss, or where do we buy our moss? I'm going to show you right now. This is a typical suburban home, small backyard, surrounded by woods. That's where we want to go. First, I'm going to show you where you can find moss, most likely in your yard. Right now I'm back behind the shed. It's a pretty shady area. The grass doesn't grow real well, but you can see we've got some moss thriving back here. Now, if I'm in a pinch and there's nowhere else to go, that's the first place I'm going. Usually with stuff like this, you can just get underneath it with your fingers, pull it up, try to get it so it comes up in one piece if possible. Now I've got a piece of moss to work with. But if you've got access to some woods behind your house, that's usually a treasure trove for moss. I'm gonna be looking for the shady areas. If I can find stuff that's on rocks, that's always the best because it comes off like a little carpet. But stuff like this is kind of stuck on there too hard. It's not gonna come off real well. But here you see we've got some that would actually peel right off the rock. Just like that. So we've got a little clump of moss to work with. As I walk further back, I see lots of areas where there's moss. We've got a whole section over here to work with. Look at this. This stuff will just come right up and you can just use it right in your water feature. Look at that big piece of moss there. Real nice. And what's cool about this is you can put it around your rockwork and you can just tear pieces off, make it fit around a boulder, tuck it into areas. We actually put foam in first so it adheres to it. Moss actually feeds from the top. It's not going to grow a lot of roots down the bottom. So it's not like a regular soil plant, and it will grow on top of pretty much anything. Rocks, foam, logs, right on the ground. There's so much of it. You just got to look around. This is some nice stuff here. So I'd get underneath it and pull all this up. Back over there, we've got probably about a half dozen rocks that are just coated in moss. There you go. Now my secret's out. That's how we collect our moss. Now you want to be responsible when you're collecting moss. Don't just go in and clear cut everything and take it all out. Take small areas so that the moss has a chance to reestablish.
I think it really fits in here nicely and really finishes off this area. And it's beautiful. You really did a nice job.
Sounds good. Something to listen to.
This waterfall just fits perfectly in this small space. I love the way this turned out. You guys let me know what you think down below. Hit that subscribe button. Drop me a comment. Leave me a like. See you on the next one.